Hey guys, today I'm super excited to talk to you about Pixar's Elemental. This movie hits theaters on June 16th, and well, it feels like classic Pixar. You know what I mean? Like, this feels like they're going back to their roots, and at the same time, they're bringing something completely new. Like, this is a romantic comedy. It's almost even a straight up romance, but there's so much more to it than that as well. Like, I absolutely love the story of Ember and Wade. I fell in love with them almost from the beginning, and it was very easy to root for them as a couple and also root for them individually just because of like the relationship building and the character development that this movie delivers. But it's not just a love story. As much as I want to say this is a romantic comedy, which it is. It is a love story at its core. But it really is so much more than that because, of course, we have Ember's family and we also have Wade's family that come into this, right? Ember's family are immigrants. They came from the Fireland. I mean, listen, all of Fire City is on the outskirts of Element City because the city was made, not keeping fire in mind, right? Not only can it mess with earth, water can mess with it, like air. I mean, there's a lot of elements that go in here. Elements, no pun intended, that make it so that fire is kind of shunned, right? They come in, there's words thrown at them like, watch where you're going, Sparky, and stuff like that. And people are just kind of like scared of them in a way. They kind of keep to themselves. They have their own language, the fire-ish, I think is how they say it. But then of course, there's little things that are thrown at Ember when she's talking, like, oh wow, you talk really clear. And she's like, yeah, this is the language I've been speaking all my life. Like, so, it's stuff like that, and I said it again, elements like that are weaved into this movie. So it's a family story and it's a love story, and it's also a story about not kind of listening when people tell you can't do something. For example, like, she's like, I'm fire. I have to stay in Fire City. I can't even go to Element City, right? I never really go there because I'm not wanted there. And it's kind of about standing up for yourself in a way. It's also about dreams parents have, right? Like sacrifices that you make for your children. As a parent, I'm like, I get it. I understand where her parents are coming from at times. But it's just so easy to connect to all of the characters in this film. Even Gail, who's the air character, she's so much fun. And then, so talking about the story is just, it's beautiful. It's touching. It's in true Pixar fashion. You're probably going to cry. I cried multiple times. Like, I had tears. It was the whole thing. I went with my kids. They were both crying. Like, this is emotional. It's touching, but it's a lot. It's Pixar. Pixar likes to make you cry, and they absolutely succeed in making you cry in Elemental for sure. But it's not just this wonderful story, which it is a wonderful story. I was captivated almost from the start. The one thing is, I will say, so I had seen the first 20 minutes or so, and then a couple of scenes later in the film at Pixar. When I went to visit Pixar a few months ago to kind of learn about the film and learn the background of the film, I have videos up here if you haven't seen those, and articles at MamasGeeky.com if you want to check them out about the behind the scenes stuff. But in watching those scenes again, it wasn't like they didn't hold up. That's not really the right word for it. But I was kind of like, okay, like I just want to get to the part where I left off. And that's because I was so interested and captivated by the story that I just wanted to get to the moment where I was like, no, I just want to finish this story. So it, for me, I hate to say, like, it felt a little like uneven, not even uneven, that's not really the right word, but like I felt like I was like, okay, let's get through this part. Like it was up and down for me, but I honestly think that's because I had already seen it and I wanted to get to the part and see where things go from there because I'd been thinking about it for months. So it's hard to call that a criticism, the first act of criticism, when it really was because I just wanted to catch up and see where things went with Wade and Ember because I was already so invested in them from months before. But putting the whole story aside, all of that stuff, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I mean, you guys have seen the trailers, you see the shots, you see the stills, you see the posters, and this thing is beautiful. I absolutely love the way it looks. There's a song in here, and when it hits, man, that's when I was, it was like waterworks, right? I was like, Wade, listen, I can relate to Wade a lot. He cries a lot. That's me. If you guys have been around my channel, you know I cry a lot. I'm a very emotional person. So me and Wade were spirit animals. I'm telling you, I was like, Wade, I get you. I understand. I'm going to cry at everything. Like when he's tearing up to cry, I was crying. It's a lot. Wade and me, we'd be really good friends. We'd cry all the time together. It would be fantastic. But these visuals are just so beautiful because when you're watching the movie, you look at Ember and she literally has fire moving inside of her all the time. Okay. Depending on her mood, her flame will get brighter or quieter, right? If she's shy, she's trying to hide away from something. Maybe she's not feeling good. She's feeling down on herself. Or when she's ready to just shine bright. Or when she's angry, she changes color and she goes, as they say, she almost goes full purple. I think that's in the trailer. But, it's just the way her emotions are carried through her body, and the visuals that they show are fantastic. And then with Wade, again, you see water moving throughout him all the time. You can kind of see through him at times. There were some shots, man, where like he's talking to Ember and there's the reflection of Ember in his face. It's just beautiful. Reflections like that, absolutely gorgeous. And then of course the way he can like suck in water because that's his element, right? So, and it changes his body shape, like he'll get bigger because, I mean, that makes sense, right? He's ingesting essentially more water. And I love that. I love that part of the visuals. I think it's beautiful. The city itself is beautiful. I love all the detail that went into it, all the signs, all the buildings, because some stuff is made, it's very clear that some stuff is made for air people, some stuff is made for land people, some stuff is made for water people, and then you have the fire people who are again kind of on the outskirts of town. They're scared. It's kind of more of like it comes across just looking at it as more of like the rougher side of the neighborhood, just because everything really is inspired by like fireplaces and grills and coals and all that sort of stuff. But then you have all the water stuff in the city and all the, like I said, the land stuff and the air stuff. It's so beautiful. And the story itself is so touching, and it's so, I cried so many times. It was one of those movies where it ended and I was like, okay, I can't wait to see this again because I know I'm going to pick up on some other things. And I'm excited to go on that journey again. I mean, listen, I fell in love with Ember and Wade and I love them. And I was like, I think audiences are going to connect with them, like I said, because of that relationship building, and not just with them, but like with Bernie and Cinder, Ember's parents. I felt it. I got it. Brooke, Wade's mom, like, you just kind of make that connection with them, and therefore you really like root for these characters, and you become so emotionally invested in the story, which is why I think it really works, and the payoffs really work when they happen, when moments that are supposed to be the emotional beats hit, they work because you are so invested in those people already. And it's funny, like it's got a lot of great humor in it. There's some stuff that's very clearly thrown in there just for kids to laugh. But I laughed too, so it worked, right? That's stuff that's like, they say like poop and fart jokes. That's not what they are. But they're in that realm of like, this was clearly done just to make kids laugh. But at the same time, there's some things that are thrown in there for adults as well that will go way over the heads of the little ones. But at the same time, will make adults be like, oh my God, I can't believe they just said that in a Pixar film. Like there's one moment towards the end, I was like, did they really just say that? But like, I get it. And it was funny and I enjoyed it. So listen, this movie, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think it deserves to be seen on the big screen 100%. So definitely, I know there's a lot of movies in June. I know, but this one I think is going to be one of the better ones. I say definitely check it out. It's gorgeous. The animation style is beautiful. The story is wonderful. Just make sure you have tissues with you. It hits theaters on June 16th. I highly recommend checking it out. Fans of all ages, viewers of all ages, I think are really going to enjoy this one. It feels like classic Pixar. Like it really feels like something that everyone can fall in love with, and I really, really hope you do. Listen, I give Elemental a 4 out of 5. I really, really liked it. It's one I'm going to revisit, and I'm really actually excited for my next watch. So you guys let me know if you're excited for Elemental down below in the comments. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and check me out at MamasGeeky.com. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.